This is going to be your guide to using Hisuian Arcanine in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So let's do the stat comparison first, since that's a big thing between regional variant Pokemon. Also, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, share with friends, and comment your thoughts down below. But the difference really isn't that crazy. We lose 5 speed, 5 special attack, we gain 5 attack, and 5 hit points. I mean, like, hitting harder but being slower just feels like a weird side grade when it's like, hey, we're trying to make Arcanine more viable because we introduced this new form for it, and that doesn't really feel like it's the case. 5 hit points actually doesn't matter because we are a fire rock typing. We might as well have 1 hit points because 4x weakness to ground, 4x weakness to water, physical Pokemon, special Pokemon, they can hit us. Rock fighting weaknesses, those aren't good either, and our resistances are kind of like the weird moves that aren't super common, like Bug and Poison and Normal and stuff. Like Flying, I guess, is kind of common. But I mean, Electric, Grass, Dark, Dragon, Ghost, Steel, you're going to be seeing those a lot more. Still neutral, and as a 95-80 Pokemon, you are getting closer to that Silvally survival range, but like +1 or just direct damage is going to be pretty difficult to deal with. And even with the Intimidate, like if you find that rock type move or you get hit by something super effective, if the Intimidate's up, you're still getting KO'd because it doesn't fully negate the damage of a super effective hit. So yeah, like we look bulky, we feel bulkier, especially like Fire Rock type. Ooh, we should be a tank. But no, don't have any of that going on. We also have the signature move, Raging Fury, which Arcanine also gets once Hisuian Arcanine becomes available. You Mirror Herb it, it's an egg move. So now we just have a buff to Arcanine, except not really, because Flame Charge exists. Like, what? Why? Or not Flame Charge, Flare Blitz exists. So like, why? Why does Raging Fury exist, especially on Hisuian Arcanine, when it gets Rock Head as a hidden ability? So, I'm confused here. Raging Fury, it's like Thrash, it's like Outrage, it has 2 to 3 turns, you get confused afterwards. So it's like this weird RNG move that also locks you in. It's nice, 120 base power, stab fire, it's dangerous. A lot of Dragon Pokemon, you know, they set up a little bit and then they can crush an entire non-fairy team with just the Outrage. That's actually really nice. They can also back it up with Earthquake and do some other strats behind it. But then, like, you see it on Hisuian Arcanine, and it's very out of place. Again, because, like, you can go Rockhead, Flare Blitz, and then it's just better. I guess the idea being, like, well, I can run Raging Fury with Intimidate, but Intimidate on this Pokemon not really finding too much success. Let's see, like, how we can make Hisuian Arcanine work. So, Choice Scarf on 90 speed is going to be good. 115 attack means, like, we just go max attack. Adamant Nature, all in, all the damage possible, high base power, maybe it does something. And it also kind of goes into like some weird stuff with the actual moveset, because we already have Outrage. We can also run Thrash if we want to, and technically like Terra Normal Thrash, kind of giving us that damage of a Raging Fury or Flare Blitz, and we also have Head Smash. Now Head Smash is going to be our main move, 150 power, that's insane. Problem is 80% accuracy. So there's just a 20% chance this move screws you over, and you can just lose the game, especially if they have like a super effective hit coming. Again, pretty common. So Head Smash, like, this is kind of it for the Pokemon. We're not running the signature move. We're just using hidden ability with a move that doesn't really have too much like play, or like not a lot of Pokemon get it. When it all comes together, this can be pretty strong. And then like just other coverage to kind of clean it up on the Pokemon. So what does that look like in damage calculation? Oh, we slap. And you kind of need that Terra Rock, so you just, like, get all the damage. That's the name of the game. We're going for one-shots. We're going to try to just take it as far as it can go. There's the Rock. And then, yeah, if we outspeed everything and we one-shot everything and we don't have to worry about recoil, the only thing we have to worry about is accuracy. That's it. We're hitting all the damage thresholds that we want, and we can even go into, like, some weirdness over here. So, 90 speed, neutral nature, with a Scarf, speed ties Dragapult at level 50. Fortunately, Dragapult is trash, and it's actually not getting a lot of play anymore because people finally realized it's trash, but it just kind of shows, like, you catch everything. And then without Terra, chance to KO. With Terra, you do KO. That means we can also look at the Silvally, just damage comparison. So we drop this down to level 50, and that's the range you're looking for. Not a lot of just like uninvested Pokemon are going to be in this area. Some pseudo-legendaries get a little weird with it, but yeah, that's going to be fine. What about the Dragonite? Because we have the super effective hit, but Dragonite is also going to have its multi-scale. We're fine. We KO it. So That's just a threat gone. And even if it has like a +1 on the Dragon Dance, if it doesn't go Terra Normal or something, or if it's not at full health and goes Terra Normal, it's still going to be a KO. It's like, yeah, we go 99% Terra Normal, same thing. So even if it has a Dragon Dance, you catch it on the outspeed, they're running Adamant, so like Jolly shenanigans don't matter. Now, if it's a Jolly Dragonite, we're in trouble because we're factoring in the Dragon Dance, which would also come with an attack bonus, and we get KO'd. We don't have the 4x weakness anymore. It just kind of shows like Earthquake and Ground-type vulnerability still exists, even if we go like Terra Fire or Terra Rock for the bonus damage. And then like the game breaks down and gets weird. Fortunately, Jolly Dragonite, not really super common, but maybe it actually like gets more pickup. Because, like, if it doesn't want to just immediately lose to an Iron Bundle at +1, so that means they have to go Jolly now, it just kind of shows, like, the weirdness with the 90 speed, where if it just kept Arcanine's 95 speed, and then, like, lost 5 more special attack, it would actually just have better ranges. Oh, I just realized we were doing all of that damage without Adamant, so yeah, Adamant is, like, the secured KO, but even if we are a Jolly nature with some kind of weird interaction here, we actually still find the KOs onto the Dragonite and the Dragapult, and that means we also, not Dragalge, that means we also kind of really convert the Silvally damage. So non-Terra Adamant onto the Dragapult finds the speed tie, and also still finds, like, the KO, but then if we go Jolly Nature to outspeed, which is kind of showing it, where it's like, maybe the 90 speed Scarf is a little too sketchy, and then we just kind of do that, and then we use the Terra to make up for the lack of Adamant, and then we still find the ranges on the Dragonite, on the Dragapult, on other Pokemon more comfortably. That could maybe be the play. We're looking at Pokemon like the Iron Bundle, and yeah, we're just going to just demolish this Pokemon. 206 speed, we cover for that, regardless of what we're running. It's just one of those things where, like, if everything's bulkier and slower, you want that damage, and if not, like, sometimes you get into some weird spots. So I don't know the better between Jolly and Adamant, but as long as Dragonite are going Adamant, you're probably safe running Adamant too. And the weird thing about this Pokemon is that our objective is not really surviving hits. So if somehow we survive a hit and we just get another head smash, that's win. That's 1-for-1 plus. We're in a really good situation at that point. So that's why I'm thinking close combat is good. We are just high base power, run them over. And that's kind of another weird thing, that you want to find the 130, 140 range, blah, 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 something, damage theory. But on certain Pokemon where if we're going Terra Rock, Stab, 150 base power, the 115 attack makes up for that. So we don't have to be that heavy hitting, and there's just higher sweepers. There's Pokemon that have like 120 speed, 130 speed, 120 attack, 130 attack, but then they use an 80 base power move, and it kind of doesn't matter. So with this Choice Scarf, we can still make up for the speed, our base power makes up for the damage, and the damage calculator says this is good. So if we run Fire, Fighting, Dragon, Rock, we actually get 762 super effective hits. And after playing around with this, like, oh, Steel is less than with Fighting? Okay, what happens if we do that? 758 versus 762, like, this is just finding more supers. Now this factors in all the Pokemon, not just the Generation 9 decks. So, and the meta is also going to be, like, different. Now the question is, do some of these Pokemon give us problems? Because as we saw, the Head Smash neutral hit is going to be insane. So if we're covering for that, we're in a pretty good position. So, Toxapex. Yeah, the weird thing is, we still don't have Earthquake. That's unfortunate. Also, the Outrage is mostly here as like a haha kind of funny move. But if we want the Iron Head here, we can put it, and that's still going to be fine. Also, probably more reliable, especially if we're outspeeding, we're getting flinches, we're covering into like fairies and different team compositions. So yeah, run the Iron Head. But I also want to look at the damage calculations where we Head Smash a full defense Toxapex with our Rock. Okay, it just gets 2 KO'd after Black Sludge recovery, so it depends on the Toxapex. If it's a bad player and it's not running Stockpile, well then you get the win. If it's running Stockpile, then we get into like those weird things where it's like, okay, we take 60, so that means we're at 40%. However, we go for the Stockpile, and then that means they're doing potentially like 40% or something. Now, Leftovers is going to give us that 6%. So that means we can survive after the recovery, and then we go recover, and then now we just kind of can either PP stall it out. Also, again, Head Smash can miss, and we're just kind of in a better situation to where it's like, okay, so we recover, this goes up to 58%, then we get knocked down to potentially 18%, and then we actually come out health positive. Eventually, we get safe enough to use a second Stockpile, or Head Smash misses, or they run out of PP. So you can actually kind of stall out the Head Smash, but it has to be full hit point, full defense Toxapex. And if it's 2 high damage rolls, that means Toxapex can also get KO'd, and if it's Adamant, that means it's just kind of over, so seems like we don't need the Earthquake. And that also makes sense, because, like, with this much base power, getting the double stab, the super effective Earthquake doesn't matter. So this is one of the most instant, sweeping, powerful hits, and it even threatens some of the bulkiest defensive Pokemon we've ever seen. That makes it pretty good. Also, you might be thinking, what about water-type moves? Well, remember, we're just mono rock now, so we can even survive a super effective hit from a Pokemon with no offenses. So you actually have the ability to just kind of run into bulky Pokemon. And like I said, if we survive and we get that second hit off, we're just kind of winning. And that's shown through these kinds of matchups. So this is pretty good. Again, that 80% chance. Like, some games you're going to win, some games you're going to lose. Stay lucky, and then hopefully the Head Smash just kind of carries and destroys everything. Interesting Pokemon. Brainless, but that's kind of it. Like, this is one of the hardest hitting Scarf Pokemon out there that just kind of instantly works and sets up into a lot. So maybe this can just be, like, successful. And then we just have something that the Arcanine doesn't. Arcanine moveset is more like doubles, tech, shenanigans. You spam utility with Intimidate, Snarl, and then you can, like, stay around with Morning Sun, and then you might threaten a little bit of damage here and there. But, like, with this, if you're just running, like, an offensive just beat down Pokemon, it's surprisingly honest, even though it is overtuned, but since everything is overtuned, it's kind of balanced out. It's like, yeah, you can just do this and maybe just crush a Timmy, and that's going to feel pretty fun. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.